Hi everyone, and welcome back to Fully Playable Games. So on today's video we've got another random pickups video, and I will say today is extremely random. We've got a little bit of everything, but I am just going to dive straight in, go through some of the bits that we've got. So first off, we've actually got a couple of Super Famicom games. So recently we picked up I think it was Secret of Mana 2 at one of the boot fairs, and yeah, that sort of got me looking into ways that I could play it, because at the moment I don't have a Super Famicom in the collection. So yeah, I was looking at different ways that I could potentially play it, and then that got me looking at some of the games, and yeah, it sort of snowballed from there. So we've got a whole stack of Super Famicom games to go through. The first one that we've got is Super Mario World. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to get the stuff that I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be able to play. So yeah, got Super Mario World. Obviously they're all cart only, and yeah, I will give you the information on them as we go through. So Super Mario World we paid £6.49 for. On average it goes for about a tenner on eBay, but obviously if we were to buy this in as a PAL cart only, we would pay more. So on average you're looking at about £18 for Super Mario World in the PAL version. Now I can't remember exactly, but with the Super Mario games, apart from the menus, there's no difference. So yeah, and obviously they're not text heavy games, so buying a Japanese version so you could play it wouldn't sort of break the bank. Obviously you've got to be able to play them, and we'll get into that in a bit. But yeah, so I picked up Super Mario World, works brilliantly. Then next up, keeping on with the Super Mario theme, we've got Super Mario Kart. So we paid £5.59 for that one. On average that goes for about a tenner as well. Once again, with this, the only Japanese that you've got to interact with is on the main menu. Other than that, it's as easy as anything to play. Picking this up in a PAL version, you're looking at £20, so that's a significant difference. And then we picked up Super Donkey Kong, which is Donkey Kong Country over in the PAL regions. Paid £4.99 for that. On average goes for about £6.50 on eBay, and that normally goes for about £20 as a PAL copy. Once again, all of these, like the three that I've shown you so far, I've got all of them on. I think the only one actually I haven't got, say that, is Super Mario World. Haven't got that one, but Super Mario Kart and Donkey Kong I've both got complete in box. This was just more of an experiment, and just to have some games for when I do actually pick up a Super Famicom. So yeah, we got that one, and then in order to play them, I had to look around at different options. So obviously I could go out and I could buy a Super Famicom, which is on the cards, but I wanted to have a look at some other options, and I actually come across this. So this is the Fire Universal Adapter, Super Nintendo NTSC converter, and you'll see on the top it's got two cartridge slots. So what you do is you get your Japanese cart and you put that in the front slot, and then in the back slot you would put a regular PAL game. So for example, I'd pick up any one of them, slot it in the back, put it into the system, and then what it does is it looks at the region, it pulls the region lock from the rear cart and basically plays the game from the front cart. Don't ask me how it works, I just know that that is how it works. Now this isn't completely foolproof. I've had a couple of games, I know, and I've got this one in particular, Donkey Kong, doesn't work with it. It just will not play. and that has to be played within a Super Famicom. And I think the only other one that I've come across as well, out of the ones that I have got, is might be The Secret of Mana. Didn't work either. So yeah, there are a couple of games that don't work with it, but in general it works quite well, and yeah, definitely worth a pick up. So ended up paying £8 for that, which was really good. Actually, if you look at it, £8 for that. Just let's take the most expensive and the cheapest PAL version. So Super Mario World, we paid £6.49 for, plus £8. That's £14.49. And then it costs £18 for the PAL version. So I'm already saving money. That's not even including the other two games that I bought. So yeah, there's definitely options. Obviously, the Fire adapter, if you were to buy it sort of as a buy now, I'd normally go for around £25. I think I got this on an auction or just a really cheap listing, and that's why I got it for that. No, I didn't. I got it off the same seller as those free carts, and we ended up, because I bought a couple off him, he ended up doing a deal for me, so that's why I got them. But my Super Famicom buying didn't end there, because I did get another 3 games. And the first one that we got was Street Fighter 2. Now, there was actually an ulterior reason for buying Street Fighter 2. Because at the time that I bought this, I didn't know where my PAL copy of Street Fighter 2 was. So I was a bit like, well, I've got this adapter. I've got the ability to play Super Famicom games, and this was £3. So I was like, that is a no-brainer. I'm going to pick this up, know that I'm going to be able to play it, and yeah. So yeah, pick that one up. Goes for about £4.50 normally. I managed to get another cheap listing, but yeah, once again, works perfectly, no issues at all. But yeah, as I say, once I'd got this, I think it was a couple of weeks later that I ended up finding my PAL copy, which I am so relieved about. But yeah, now I've got both a Japanese and a PAL copy. Then this next one. So this come up, I think, in one of my search alerts that I had going on. I decided just to pull the trigger on it. Didn't know anything about it. Just decided to just give it a go. And that is Super Bomberman. Now, the thing with this one is it is totally in English. So the menus, the on-screen, everything is all in English. But the only thing with this is that it is dirt cheap. So we paid £6 for it. Looking it up online, £6 is about the price that they go for. But if you were to buy the PAL copy, you'd pay anywhere between £25 and £50 for cart only. So that is a massive saving. It really is. Even if you think, if we were to pay £6 for that and paid the full price for the adapter, that's £31. You're about the sort of medium area to basically buying the PAL version. And there's no difference. This is completely in English. And yeah, it just gives you a bit of an insight into how sometimes buying the Japanese version is a lot cheaper. For example, Panzer Dragoon Saga, for example, that is a lot cheaper in Japan. And actually, no, I know one that I was thinking of, and it was a GameCube game, Chibi Robo. So I have got a Japanese version of Chibi Robo sitting in my eBay watch list, and I think it's currently listed for $39.99. That's free. I think it's free shipping. And obviously, if you were to buy the PAL version, you're looking at over £150. So yeah, it's only something that I've recently been looking into. Obviously, over the last sort of 6 months, where I've been sort of starting to really sort of ramp up picking up Japanese consoles, and yeah, it's just really started to open my eyes up. Obviously, for my collection, I do predominantly go for the PAL stuff. I would rather pay up and get a PAL version of a game than settle for a Japanese version. But obviously, if a Japanese version comes along, or a Japanese game comes along that I like the look of, I tend to sort of grab them now. I'm not as skittish with regards to sort of imported games. But yeah. And then we've got one last Super Famicom game. And this one is called Golden Fighter. Once again, this was another one just randomly come up in one of my eBay sort of search emails. Never heard of it. Kind of guessed what it was. And actually, I think I was completely wrong. I thought it was a sort of one-on-one fighter. If I remember rightly, it was a sort of 2D sort of beat 'em up. But it's been a while since I played it, so I think it's a 2D beat 'em up and not a one-on-one fighter. Which, yeah, I think from the cover art, I don't know, I just assumed. But this one was actually a Japanese exclusive, so there was no PAL release of this. And yeah, it's an alright game. I enjoyed playing it, and definitely one that I'll sort of chuck in from time to time. So with that one, we paid £4.99 for that. On average, it goes for about £9 on eBay. So once again, done really, really well with that. Then, next up, we have got we've got 4 bits, and they are absolutely, I am so happy to have them. 3 of them are bits that I've been dying to get into the collection. One of them is just a little something to complete something else. And these actually come from one of the guys that I work with. So there's a guy that I work with, and I've had quite a few bits off him over the last year. We had a load of Mega Drive games off him towards the beginning of the year, maybe the beginning of last year, or the tail end of the year before. I can't quite remember. And then I think it was only a few weeks ago that I put out a video where I got the Xbox Series S. Got an amazing price for that off him. And then, yeah, he came to me with these bits. He said, to be quite honest, he hasn't got the room for them. Sort of I've got some games and something else. The something else he just didn't have a room for, didn't want any more, so he was just going to get rid of it if I didn't have it. I was ripped his arm off for it. And then the games, they're all doubles. He wasn't interested in them, so he said if I wanted them, I could have them. So the first thing I've got is, and before I bring it on, is actually going to be ticking off one of the aims for this year. So if you haven't seen my aims video, I'll put a link up in one of the corners. And it was boxes. So boxes and more boxes this year. So the first box that we've got is the Mega Drive 2. So yeah, I've got a couple of Mega Drive 2s. And I know that I'm going to be able to put everything in here to make it complete. It's got the instructions in it as well. Overall, the box is in okay condition. There's a couple of bits, but there is some damage across the top where there was some tape over the top of it, which is a bit of a shame. But actually, overall, it's not in too bad condition. And what I am planning on doing before the Games Room tour is I'm actually going to be clearing off the top shelf of Pokemon stuff, and I'm actually going to be putting some of my Sega boxes up there. So we've obviously got the original Mega Drive, we've now got the Mega Drive 2, we've got the Mega CD 1, we've also got the Mega CD 2 complete in box. I think the only thing we're missing there is the pack-in game. But I'm probably not going to put that up on the shelf because that is all in the box, whereas the Mega CD 1, the Mega Drive 1 and the Mega Drive 2, they're empty boxes, so I might put them up. I'll put them up on the shelf because I've got basically floating shelves and I'm a bit twitchy about the amount of weight I put on them. So yeah, as I say, the Mega Drive box didn't pay anything for. He literally didn't want any money for it. He was quite happy for me to just take it. Knew what I was planning on doing with it. If I was to buy the box, it'd be looking at about £21 for it. So yeah, just really chuffed to have the first box of the year. Hopefully we'll get a lot more, and we'll really be able to start getting the collection boxed up, so to speak. But as I say, that wasn't the only thing I got off him. I did get some games. The first one that I got was Mega Games 2. So this is one that I've actually really been wanting to get. I've currently got Mega Games 1 on the Mega Drive. I think that was actually the first game that I ever got. I think that's the game that I got with my Mega Drive when my mum and dad bought it for Christmas for me. And yeah, I've always wanted to get the other Mega Games in the series. I think they go up to Mega Games 6, if I remember rightly. So yeah, we've got Mega Games 2. If I remember rightly, I think this one is, yeah, it is complete. It's got all 3 of the manuals in. And basically, this is essentially the beat 'em up Mega Games, because it comes with Revenge of Shinobi, Streets of Rage, and Golden Axe. So yeah, really happy to have that one in the collection. That one goes for about £20 on eBay. Then we've got Mega Games 3. So not only did I get to tick off Mega Games 2, we've also ticked off Mega Games 3 now as well. What I will say with this one is, apart from one of the games, I have got all of these in the collection already. So we've got Alien Storm, which was another game that I got fairly early on in when I got my Mega Drive. So yeah, I've got that up in the box, yeah, complete in the box. Then we've got Super Thunder Blade, which I don't have in the collection at the moment, which is really good. And then Super Monaco Grand Prix, which actually comes on the original Mega Games 1. That's the only copy that I had of it until last year, I think it was, which I think I managed to... did I? No, there you go. Yeah, I have got it complete in box. So that would have been one that I picked up last year as well. So yeah, as I say, there are some doubles, but it was more being able to add the next Mega Games into the collection, which was great. Mega Games 3 goes for about £11 on eBay, so not as valuable as the other one. And then the final game that we got, this was purely to finish off my Mega CD 2, because it was missing the packing, and that is Road Avenger. So we have already got this in the collection. I haven't organised that yet. So yeah, we've already got Road Avenger in the collection. I bought that last year because it was one that I did want to add to the collection. But yeah, the guy that I worked with, he had another copy of it. I was like, brilliant, I can put it into my Mega CD 2 box, and that is then complete. It's got everything in there and it's good to go. So Road Avenger goes for about £8 at CEX and £14 on eBay. So yeah, really chuffed to get that as well. Then let me just scroll up. We're actually going to carry on with the Mega Drive. So we've got another Mega Drive game. This didn't come from the guy I worked with. This was just one that I randomly picked up off eBay. And to a certain point, we've already got it in the collection. But we've not got exactly the right version. And that is Theme Park. So we have got, so it's just up here. We've got Theme Park. This is the US version. It does say it's Genesis version. It does works in Power consoles without a problem. But yeah, I really wanted a PAL copy of it because I do love this game. I've got multiple copies of it now. We've got it on PC. I think I've got the PS1 version as well. And then obviously we had the Mega Drive one. So yeah, I wanted to get the PAL version. What I find funny with this is, so you look at the box, it's got the European sort of age ratings and everything on it. But then as soon as you open it up, it's got the US cart in it. And when I first looked at the listing, I think I placed the bid. I might have even won it, because it was on an auction and I ended up being the only one bidding on it. So I think I ended up winning the auction, and then I don't know why, I just ended up looking at the listing again and then saw that the cart was the US cart, and I'm like, oh, have I not bought the right version? Has someone swapped the cart out? But then when I actually started doing a bit more research into it, I actually found out that the PAL versions all come with this cart. So they all come with the sort of the American sticker on them. And yeah, I thought that was really bizarre. But yeah, as I say, you put it straight in the console, it works without a problem. But yeah, for some reason, the sticker that's on the cartridge for the PAL games is the US sticker, which yeah, I've just found that funny. So next up, we have got a Wii U game. So I am on a big push this year to try and get as many Wii U games for the collection as we can, because I would love to have the full PAL set of Wii U games. So yeah, this was one that I've been eyeing up for a while. I've already got a copy of it on a different platform, mainly the Switch. But yeah, just really wanted to pick up the Wii U copy, and that is Breath of the Wild. So yeah, I've got it on the Switch, played it on the Switch, but obviously originally it was a late release on the Wii U, and yeah, wanted to grab it. Managed to pick it up for £22.99, which is about right. So it goes for £22 at CEX, £25 on eBay. But it is complete, and yeah, as I say, this was one of the ones that I really wanted to add in to the Wii U set, get this quite early on, and yeah, so got that, added it in. And actually, before we move on to the next game, I don't think I went through the pricing for the copy of Theme Park. So we paid £13.50 for it. Looking it up, CEX do it for £10, and on eBay it normally goes for about £15. So paid about what it goes for. Then next up, we've got a SNES game. So we've had a load of Super Famicom games. Now we're going to have a Super Nintendo game, and that is Stunt Racer FX. So it is complete in box, and yeah, it was one that just sort of randomly come up. I'd sort of been periodically sort of looking at it, and yeah, I think it just happened to sort of come across at the right time, and I just decided to just have a go and just grab it. So we paid £17.91, goes for £18 at CEX and about £20 on eBay. But I will say it is in really good condition, so that was another thing. A lot of the ones that I was seeing that were around the sort of £20 mark, the boxes were just in atrocious condition, whereas this one was by far one of the best ones that was listed for around that price. So that was another reason for sort of grabbing that one. Then next up, we've got a 3DS game. I had to think then. And then this actually relates to a game that I mentioned earlier on, and that is Chibi Robo Zip Lash. So this is a 2D platformer where you basically play Chibi Robo, and you use your basically your power cord as sort of a bungee or sort of rope to sort of traverse the level. You also use it to break blocks, and yeah, it was actually a really good sort of 2D platformer. This one, my copy is still sealed because whenever I capture footage for the 2DS, I have to emulate it because I don't have any other ways to do it. So for now, I probably will leave it sealed until I decide to take it out and about with one of my DS's. But yeah, so pick that one up. That was £4.95 sealed, and on average it does go for about £5. So yeah, no problems there. So next up, we have got a Switch game. And this was a game that I have been seeing a lot of people talk about. And yeah, when I looked at sort of gameplay footage of it, it looked really, really good. So I just had to sort of grab it. I did grab it sort of brand new from eBay. But obviously I have opened it to capture the footage. And that is Final Vendetta. So this is a... would you class it as cell shaded? Basically a very sort of cartoony style beat 'em up, and yeah, I absolutely love this. This is an absolutely amazing game, and one that I am definitely going to be. There's definitely going to be a regular in my sort of Switch bag when I'm sort of out and about. Yeah, absolutely loved it. Really, really good game to play. We ended up, what did we pay? We paid $16.99 for that one. Actually got a really good deal on it because it normally goes for about £25. So really happy with that. But I will say, when it comes to the games that we've got in today's video, this is the game that I was desperate to get hold of. And once again, I'd seen other people talking about it. I'd seen gameplay for it. It just looked brilliant, and it did not disappoint me in the slightest. This was, I literally, when capturing the footage for it, I sat down to capture the footage, ended up playing it from start to finish. But there are multiple endings to it. I've only seen one ending so far. But yeah, absolutely amazing game. And that is In Rays of the Light. And yeah, this is a superb game. Really, really is. Essentially, you are sort of in basically an abandoned school. I believe it's in Russia, and you've basically got. Well, I can't go into it too much because if I give any real details, it's going to ruin the story for you if you ever get a chance to play it. Because I think you can get this digitally, and it's a lot cheaper than buying the physical version. But yeah, it is just such an engaging story. It really is. And some of the things that the developers they've done with the game are just amazing. They really, really play with your senses. Yeah, I would say if you haven't played this yet, definitely pick it up. If out of every game that I've sort of shown today or shown recently, this is the game that I would advise picking up. It is superb. It's not a super long game. I think I first run through, I think I'd done it in less than sort of 2 hours. And I think even then you could still do it a lot quicker. But yeah, it is an absolutely amazing game. Really, really need to pick it up. I would say pick it up digitally if you can, because the physical version, I ended up getting it from Amazon, and it was £51.76. Yeah, I don't understand Amazon pricing sometimes. And then if you're picking it up on eBay, it goes for about 60 quid. But yeah, it is, as I say, it's a really, really short game. So if you're paying those sort of prices, it's probably not worth it. But if you would buy it digitally, I don't actually know what the digital price is. If I'm able to, before the video goes up, I'll put a little note down the bottom. But yeah, it is a superb game. I cannot recommend this one enough. So yeah, In Rays of the Light. Then next up, we've actually got a VHS, and this is a VHS that I have been sort of keeping my eye out for probably about 8 months now. I originally saw it. I think I originally saw it on an auction, missed out on that auction, and then whenever I've seen it since, it's been sort of buy it nows, and it's been sort of more than I wanted to pay. But I finally found it on an auction, paid a little less than the buy it now price, not massively, but I got to the point where I was like, I just want it in the collection. And that is the Sega Mega CD Games Without Frontiers promo VHS. Now, I have been on a bit of a binge with regards to promo DVDs, sort of promo VHSs, promo DVDs, anything like that I can get my hands on. I've currently got an active search on eBay for sort of video game promo VHSs, and yeah, I think actually over the next few weeks, I want to say next 6 to 8 weeks, we will actually be seeing a couple more being added to the collection. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, I saw this, wanted to grab it, and yeah, really chuffed that I've got it in. I should be seeing some footage of it at the moment, unless there's some stupid copyright with it, which hopefully there isn't. Yeah, I'll sort of put some footage up. It is very 90s, but yeah, just really happy to have that in the collection. I'm actually probably going to put it up just there with the Mega CD set, or the Mega CD games. So yeah, we paid £18 for that, and on average it goes for about £25 if people are doing it buy it now on eBay. And then next up, we picked up a faulty console. Once again, this was another one that I've been wanting to add to the collection for a while. I've seen a couple of people pick them up at the boot fairs. I've seen sort of various eBay auctions sort of come and go. But that was the Super Mario Bros. 25th anniversary. I think it is the DSi XL. So yeah, it is. It has been bought as 40. It does need quite a bit of work doing to it. A lot more than I actually anticipated. The listing, as normal when you buy 40 items off eBay, they normally know what's wrong with it, and it's normally as vague as anything to get it to sell. Very much the case with this. They knew exactly what was wrong with it, but yeah, just hid that within the listing. The back battery cover, you got a big chunk missing out of it, so it's only being held on by one screw. And I'm not going to open it up because I have already opened it up. I've started to film the repair video for it, but unfortunately some of the parts that I need for it are actually quite hard to get hold of. So yeah, we will be doing a repair at some point on it, but that will be for the future. So we ended up paying £25 and 11p for it. Once again, don't know where the 11p comes in, but that's what it was. And in fully working condition, it'll go for about £60. But I think once I buy all the parts that I'm needing for it, it would probably cost me a lot more than that. So I may look to just cut my losses and either buy a whole nother DSi XL to sort of swap the parts into, or just buy a new 25th anniversary DSi, which is a shame because yeah, I want one in the collection. It's one of the ones that I want to add in, but yeah, I'll weigh it up. If it's going to make an interesting video, I'll probably just buy the parts in anyway, or yeah, as I say, I will buy a normal DSi XL, and then we'll sort of transplant the parts into the case. We'll just see. But that isn't it for today, because we did get a couple of bits off the friend of the channel, let's say. The person that loves to drain my bank account. And I know he's watching this because he watches my videos and always comments. So he knows who he is. And that is Nicky. So he sent me a message. Another one of his amazing charity shop hunts. And yeah, these couple of bits, I just didn't want to let them go. So I ended up picking them up. And the first bit we got is actually a special edition game for the Nintendo Wii. And I've got to pick it up because it's a big old thing. And that is and I'm going to read it off my screen. It's the DJ Hero Renegade Edition for the Nintendo Wii. So hopefully I'm able to get some pictures of it up. I'm going to have to put it down as I stand at the moment. So this is basically a flight case that's got the DJ Hero mixing deck in. It also has a special, I think it's Jay-Z and Eminem CD in there as well. And then you would normally have the game. The game doesn't have the game in it, unfortunately. But I picked the game up for a couple of quid on. I mean, it's about £5 sealed I can get the game for online. Or I might just hold off and see when I'm out and about. So yeah, it all comes in there. I will say, other than the game, the other thing that is missing is the legs. So what this is designed to do is there's 4 holes on the bottom for you to put sort of extendable legs on. And the idea is that you use the mixing deck actually within the case, sort of standing upright. But I was like, legs aren't a big deal. I can always put it on the desk, on a table, and do it sort of like that. But I just thought the case looked really cool. The concept of it was really good. So decided to pick it up. Paid £10 for it. It goes for £28 at CEX. Obviously that would be with the legs and the games. I have looked. I haven't been able to see anywhere that I can get just the legs. So yeah, I will keep my eye out. And if I ever can get the legs, I will get them to make it complete. But if I was to buy it off eBay, it goes for £40. So yeah, regardless of what way you cut it, we did make a good saving on it. And as I say, £5 to get the game put in, that's a no-brainer really. Then next up, we got this next lot. It was literally sold to me as a bundle, but I've broken down the prices sort of to rough breakdown of it all. And the first one that we've got is a boxed Nintendo 3DS XL. So this is the red edition. Paid £70 for this. They go for about £150 on CEX and £140 on eBay. Yeah, for me, it was the fact that it was boxed was the sort of the big selling point. And then yeah, it will be going up on the handheld shelf. That was it. So obviously we've got the shelf just above the desk with all my Nintendo handhelds, or the box ones anyway. This will be going up on there. And yeah, obviously I've got a couple of these, and don't really actually have any need to sort of play this one at the moment. So yeah, as I say, for now, it will go up on that shelf because obviously it is complete in box. But then I did get a couple of games of it as well. So the first one that we got was New Super Mario Bros. 2. This is complete, and you should be seeing footage of it up right now. Once again, it's a 2D sort of Mario platformer. The standard sort of what you would expect when you play a Mario game, and yeah, you can't really say anything else about it. It is just enjoyable. That's all I can really say with that one. So we paid £5. It works out we paid £5 for that. Goes for £12 at CEX, £10 on eBay. And then the final game we've got, I will say I don't have any footage for this because my Emulator just did not want to play it, and yeah, so I couldn't capture any footage for it. But that is Pokemon Omega Ruby. Now, the only problem with this is there is a big crease right down the front of the front cover. But we did actually get a case only of this last year. I think when we picked up the Amiga 500, this was actually chucked in, the box for this was chucked in. So it is somewhere in the bedroom. I'm going to have to dig it out, but I know that that box is in sort of pristine condition. So what I'm going to do is swap the boxes over so that this is in sort of pristine condition. But yeah, it's another Pokemon game to add to the collection. Anytime I can get a Pokemon game, I will always grab it. So worked out we paid about £25 for that one. It goes for £38 at CEX and £40 on eBay. And that is going to wrap it up for today. So yeah, we've got some absolutely amazing bits for the collection. Really, really chuffed with a lot of these as well. And yeah, a lot for me to get sorted. So before we wrap up the video, let's quickly run through the totals. So our total spend was £340 and 27p. If we bought everything we could from CEX, we would have paid £286. To be quite honest, that excludes majority of it. So I think more than half of what we picked up wasn't available at CEX. So yeah, even that amount is quite good. And then if we picked everything up from eBay, we would have paid £622. Well, I say that, if we paid full price for everything off eBay, it would have been £620. So yeah, once again, some really, really good additions to the collection. Really, really chuffed that I've got a lot of these now. Some of these bits wasn't even looking for, like the DJ Hero, for example. It's not something I was actively seeking out. It just happened to sort of drop in my lap, so to speak. But with that said, that is going to wrap the video up. But before you head off, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that like button. If you're not already, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell to be kept up to date when I upload new videos. And yeah, with that said, thank you so much for watching today. Really hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Alright, bye!